Hi, my friend. I really like the energy in the readings that we have today. And in my mind, it all sort of revolves around this word generous, or here's an even better word, magnanimous. Magnanimous means largeness of soul, big souled. And that certainly describes generosity, doesn't it? Someone who's generous has a big soul. And it all starts out with God in Isaiah. Isaiah says, seek the Lord while he may be found. That he's generous, he's ready to receive you. And his thoughts are higher than the sky. The sky is above the earth. That sort of thing. It's the expansiveness of God toward us is magnanimity. It's generosity, right? In the psalm, we get the same idea of God just being great, magnanimous toward his people. And he certainly expects that of us. I mean, after all, we're in his image, and we don't want to be small soul, do we? Well, look at Paul in the readings. His main concern is that the Lord will be magnified, magnanimous, right? Magnified, made large through his body. That's interesting. We've been thinking about that a lot lately. Romans 12:1, we had a few weeks ago. Therefore, off your body as a living sacrifice. You see, where the body is where everything is played out in this life, even our salvation. And it makes sense, doesn't it? Your soul and your spirit, they go where the body goes, right? And the soul and the spirit work through our bodies. So we are very earthy as Catholics. Everything is done through the body. Christ offers his body and blood to us. We offer ourselves to God and to one another. And Paul is saying, hey, whether I live or die, doesn't matter to me. All he cares about is that God will be magnified. And he did say this, it's probably a good idea to hang around, at least from my perspective right now, so that I can do so much more for you. Wow. Isn't that generous? Isn't that magnanimous? I hope all of us get to be that way, right? Yeah. And then finally we got this fantastic parable. It drives you completely crazy, okay? And we've talked about it before. They're day laborers. They come around 6 o'clock in the morning, right? And the kingdom of God is like the day laborers who come. And not everybody's picked at 6 o'clock in the morning to go and work for the landowner. It really is a good fortune, because the day laborers, their whole lives depend upon whether they're going to be able to work that day or not. So you can imagine how you feel if you were picked, right? Man, wow, if you're not picked, you go, oh my, this is bad. But God is so magnanimous. He comes around at 9 and he picks up more people. And the people who are crestfallen at 6 say, oh wow, this is good. I'm going to be able to get something to eat today or bring home to my family. But then he comes around 12 o'clock, picks up more. Even at 3 o'clock. And the clincher is this. He comes by at 5 o'clock, 1 hour before the whistle blows. I just love this, because it just goes contrary to our own sense of justice, right? He gives the same amount of money to the people who work at 5, who started work at 5 for an hour, as those who work 12 hours. They're outraged. Well, that's how it is in this world, but in the kingdom of heaven, it's something completely different. First of all, those who have had the opportunity to serve 12 hours of the day for the Lord in a kingdom, wow, that's an honor. That's a great thing. And they're happy when more people come on board. And they don't even care what the master gives to the people who work less, even those who work only for an hour. Matter of fact, they rejoice because they have a magnanimous soul. Dear brothers and sisters, there's a lot of people who are idle. And if they only knew what you knew, how pleasant it was to work in the vineyard of the Lord, and to receive the grace that we get in the sacraments and in our daily life of prayer and service. Wow. If you come in at 6 o'clock in the morning, wow, it's a wonderful thing. It's better than standing out idle. And so we should be very, very magnanimous, generous of soul when we think about those out there, and try to bring them in, invite them in. Don't be afraid, whether they be relatives, people that maybe have not gone to church since COVID, whatever it is. We need to invite people here and be joyful when they're blessed like you are. That's magnanimity. That's generosity. God bless. See you on Sunday.